So guys, I wanted to test it out a little bit of the changes that we had in the new weapons. So we had 3 changes to some of the new weapons that we have in the dev server. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Hosbow first. I think it's the most interesting one since it's an actual like air-to-ground weapon that you can use in a battle. Of course, the other ones will be for anti-ship, but yeah. And by the way, just before we continue, sorry about my voice because obviously I have very severe flu or something. I'm feeling like, you know, uh, like like something that I'm not allowed to say in YouTube. But yeah, basically, we're gonna talk a little bit about that, but just about the weapons and stuff. But don't mind my voice and the way that I am talking. Okay, so the first thing, guys, is that we're gonna go very far away over here because one of the main changes on the Hosbo was that now apparently you can try to hit a target that it is at above, the 40 kilometers from before. Now it is supposed to be hitting the 100-kilometer mark, so we're gonna try to hit that. Also, the guidance duration is less than the 700 seconds, and it is now 500, which is still pretty amazing. It's like 8 minutes and something, so it's very, very long. And also, guys, they change it up a little bit of the flight model of the bomb. Okay, so it's a little bit, the aerodynamics are changed, the drag, the mass is changed. So yeah, it's a completely different bomb now, and with way more range. Of course, guys, this thing still has a 20-kilometer base lock range for the target. Okay, so it means that in a certain, sized target, it will actually be able to lock onto a target like that only at 20 kilometers, which can be good, but it can be bad as well. Why is that? Well, it can be good because if you fire these bombs at like 50 kilometers, for example, when the bomb gets to the 20-kilometer mark, it will try to acquire the proper lock onto the vehicle. So if it moves or anything like that, it should be able to do something about it. But the other thing is that it is kind of bad, is that you need to get to those 20 kilometers or less probably, because normally these tanks, they are very, very small. So you need to get less than that to be able to get a proper lock onto a moving target, aka even though it can do 100 kilometers in a real combat scenario in ground battles, it is more like 15, okay? But it's still pretty great. So how we're gonna try to see if this works is basically we're gonna no, I like this. Yeah, I forgot the buttons. We're gonna try to lock it up one of these targets like that with the CCAP here, and we're gonna basically wait for the return to the battlefield over here, and then we're gonna try to launch it from like a 90 to 100 kilometers range and see if the thing actually can do it. One thing that we need to know is that the maximum max speed drop of this thing is, well, it should be around Mach 1, right? So we're going to try to drop it out too fast, see? And this thing is guided by GPS, guys, which means that you can use the thing to properly get a lock and fire. There you go, see? We're too high of a speed. Oh my god, this thing is fast. 70 kilometers, still pretty good, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, lower your airspeed, vehicle. There we go. So now we're going to wait to see. So he opened its wings and you can see clearly. So yeah, guys, like I said, now it has 500 seconds of guidance time. So it needs to get to the target at these 500 seconds, right? Before it self-explodes because of battery time, right? So it's, yeah. Very good. Another thing is that the max, max fin AOA angle, it is only 14 degrees. Before it was 22, which means that it will be able to turn less than it was doing before, right? But the mass also got decreased, right? It was almost 500, now it's 300 kilograms. So it means that the bomb will have technically less maneuverability, but because of the less weight that it has, it will probably be kind of the same. So we're going to try to see if we can get there. close to those targets, and let's see if the FOV of the bomb itself will actually be able to acquire a lock. I wasn't really precise with where I chose the target, but you got the point, right? And remember, guys, as you can see, I don't know if you can read on the on the name there. This is pretty much a Mark 82 bomb, apparently, although it is a bit heavier, right? But at the end of the day, it is a Mark 82. So you gotta be kind of precise with this thing. Again, I would stay using this thing at around 10 to 15 kilometers and not do this, what I'm doing. This is just pushing the limits. But after this drop hits the ground there, I'm gonna try to see how far away we can actually lock a target on the ground so that you can expect. Another thing that got changed, guys, is that I already told you guys about it, but this thing can carry now 4 of these bombs, okay? 3 if you use the pod, of course, the lightning tree, right? But yeah, if you use 4 of them, it is pretty interesting. These are very close to the fighters there, but that's why the sound, I was like, where's this jet sound coming from? But yeah, probably down there. Yeah, see there. But yeah, so it is a Mark 82, so you need to be precise, and also you can carry 4 of them. I still believe that if they can, I mean, a lot of people were saying this on the internet, they're still looking into it. If you can take on the wing pylons, it would be even greater, because then you can take the pod itself. Not that this camera that he has, it's a bad one, but of course the pod, lightning tree pod, is always going to be a little bit more effective, right? So it's a little bit more interesting. So it's getting close. It doesn't have any lofting or anything. The autopilot of the bomb just go kind of straight to the target. It doesn't kind of try to maintain a level and then drops down. It's kind of just flying with a kind of a semi dive over here, maintaining speed, which I think it's pretty good, especially if the target starts to move. I don't think I was precise enough on choosing where the target was, but yeah. If it was a laser as well, you could change where the target was, right? And that would be amazing, but yeah, let's see. I don't think it's going to lock anything, but clearly, as you see, it has the range to hit above 70 kilometers. Clearly, right? So yeah, as you can see, I missed a little bit. Not going to get a lock, I don't think. But it was my mistake. You know, I should have done the locking procedure before. But it is pretty good, as you see. Direct hit on where I aimed. Very good. 100 kilometers of range. Pretty amazing, right? And now, let me just test what is the actual range of this thing trying to get a proper lock. So here's like, we can see that, yeah, see? From like 14 kilometers, you cannot get a proper lock. Let me try from further away here, like 20 or something. So this is the good part about this, is that although it can lock the ground at up to 100 kilometers, it can actually lock a target, a proper target, so that if the target moves or anything like that, from like a very good range, man. So even though it is kind of a high BR, this aircraft, it has these Hosbows, which are going to be pretty amazing. And if you want to be kind of mixed over here, you can like bring, for example, I don't know, some brimstones as well instead of one of these bombs, so that you can use the laser. I would still probably use these because I just prefer, nowadays I'm starting to prefer TV guided, IR guided, right? But still. Yeah, so see, very precise. We're going to try to see like a more range over here if I can get a lock. Let's see. Like at 19 kilometers here. Let me just try to see like that. Yeah, see, now it's locking the ground. Oh, I dropped the bomb. My mistake. And these targets are kind of from the rear, a little bit from the side, so it's a normal scenario over here. Come on, baby. Maybe, mm, maybe it was the position before. Yeah, I think it was the position. Now we just need to maybe use this. The pod is here, but it's not really, right? But you can get a lock. For some reason, it's not getting a lock. but you get the point, right? So you can, depending on the aspect of the target, you can get up to 20 kilometers, 10, 13. That's what I would use this thing for. Be careful with bucks and other things like that, but in a general sense, this is the Hosbow, okay? So let's show a little bit of the more of the differences on the anti-ship missiles. And for the Sea Eagle here, guys, we're gonna check it out. 2 changes that they did. The first one is that the altitude of the sea skimming is now changed a bit. So we're gonna test that. And also, the seeker activation is now at 31 kilometers. It means that the seeker has 31 kilometers. Before that, it will actually be using the inertial navigation, okay? Yeah, we are here with the Tornado IDS. I think it's one of the coolest aircraft that can use this missile because the Buccaneer is very slow, of course, and the Hawks are very slow. So I really wanted to put this thing to the test from a very far distance. So we are going to the edge of the map over here, and we're going to try to get a kill from a very far distance as well. And another thing, guys, I forgot to mention is that the Sea Eagle now can be only dropped around Mach 0.9. So you gotta be kind of slow. So we're gonna take it down the speed a bit over here to be able to do this. Let's see if we can actually detect the ships from this distance. I don't think we can, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to accelerate again, but yeah, I'm not having any detections from this far. Well, that is interesting. I was expecting this radar to be a bit better, but yeah, no detection. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. 73 kilometers. That is actually pretty good. Let me see if I can get one of these because they are stationary just to make sure I hit. And then you just lock it up. Wait for the actual speed. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And there you go. I'm going to fire just one, and we're going to see. So, first of all, guys, for example, here, it is going to be, I can unlock it, right? But the major thing here, guys, is that this thing will be flying via INS, okay? It will go to the last place that the target is had. And at 31 kilometers, it will actually lock the target up. So we're going to try to just find that target, yeah, so that we can see the range. So for now, it is flying via, INS, inertial, right? Also, guys, at 110 seconds from the target, it should level flight, and this is the change that I wanted to show to you guys, at 295 meters. Before it was completely different, and now it's gonna be just flying at that, at that altitude, a higher altitude, so it doesn't, do anything crazy, and crash into the ground or anything like that from these, seconds. Once he gets to the 56 seconds, he will go to 30 meters, sorry, which is probably what he's doing right now. And he might still crash into the ground. Let's see. It should be if it detects anything, it should climb. So we're gonna see if it is working properly. And at 20 seconds from the target, it will actually go 1.5 meters. It's kind of funny because it's not flying directly to the target, as you see. It might actually have some form of drift as well with the INS. So yeah, now it's starting to climb again, see? So it now is at 295 meters. So it kind of went down and then upwards a little bit. And it will maintain that up to 56 seconds. Of course, guys, this thing will try to maintain the altitude using a radar altimeter, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Which means that it will try to go upwards. It should be doing that, actually. If, maybe it will not do, but it should. Regarding, it doesn't matter what is under the ground, right? So, see, for example, now it is entering the second stage. It's going down again, but look, it climbed because it detected with a radar altimeter, so it's working, that it should be moving up and down, maintaining the 30 meters now, because it's less than 56 seconds from target acquisition, okay? It is probably now with a radar lock onto the target. It will try to maintain, see? It's detecting the ground and stuff. And once it goes to below the 20-second mark, it will actually fly at 1.5 meters from the ground. So let's see. It probably will go down a little bit more. It's going, right? It's lowering its altitude. So it's a pretty smart weapon, actually. It's a cruise missile, basically, right? So, but anti-ship. And look at this. Lower the altitude to 1.5 meters. So this is how it's working, right? So it from very far distance, 110 seconds, it will fly 295 meters. 56 seconds, it will fly 30 meters. And then 20 seconds, and like getting the lock, it will fly 1.5 meters. So this is the Sea Eagle working now. Very, very fun. And of course, it does have the radar altimeter. The last one that I wanted to show is for the Chinese JH7. And now the YJ81. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave on the screen right now the changes. And thank you, Zabi, for finding these changes. But basically, we have plenty of small changes. Like, for example, the mass was increased by 10 kilograms, but then the mass after the booster burn is decreased to 355 kilograms. Before it was 380, right? The caliber, the length, so it got changed a little bit. It's increased. The drag coefficient is higher. So overall, it means I think that it's gonna be maybe a little bit worse in certain scenarios, but it doesn't change much, right? The major change, guys, comes to the booster force, which is increased by almost a third, and also the explosive mass that got decreased a little bit. So I'm not gonna like fully show to you guys on a very, very far distance. I'm just going to get like 30 kilometers here and try to fire just to not waste too much time. But overall, guys, it is something that it's a little bit different than the Sea Eagle. Another thing is that you do not have like a proper sea mode on the radar. You have only search ground mode, like a ground moving target indication, which means that you're going to have to be firing on targets that are moving, okay, and not like targets that are stationary. So we're going to see if we can actually target one of these frigates and stuff that are just moving around, but yeah. Just a little bit more range. So 30 kilometers. Let's see if we can actually get a proper lock over here. There we go. We have. We're going to get a lock and fire and see what it does. So as you can see, the booster is a little bit better. You can see on the radar screen right there, it is flying via INS. You know, I think this one has a data link apparently or something, because it is actually, you know, appearing that he has one on the radar there. But as you can see, flies higher as well at the initial stages. A little bit to the left, but yeah, okay, doesn't matter. And yeah, the initial burn will be for a stronger period of time, okay? Or it will be stronger with like less 5 seconds, but like almost a third more energy, which means that it will be able to do a lot better. So now it acquires the lock, as you can see. It's not flying with INS anymore. With the radar lock, it goes directly to the target. I mean, we can even unlock the target there. And as you can see, it works very similarly to a normal active radar homing missile. It flies in a little bit of a different way than the Sea Eagle. You know, and it became a little bit weaker than what it was before, right? So, yeah. But it's going straight to the target. It has a lock. If it was a real combat scenario in real life, the target would start to fire with the series. As you can see, flying very low to the ground. Very low, 1.5 meters as well, I think. To really hit the waterline, right? And then it's the target, right? Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is pretty interesting. So it's faster now. Has a little bit of a different drag system, but it is, you know, not faster, but it has more power. And also less explosive mass, which is kind of sad. But yeah, these are the changes, okay, to the missiles, guys. Again, sorry about my voice. Sorry about my excitement that it's not on par with other videos, but I'm trying the best I can, okay? And these are the changes to the 3 missiles that they changed, or 3 weapons that they changed in the dev server, okay? So I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, become a patron or a member to help out the channel. See you guys on the next one. Bye.